Hello.
Hello. Good morning to people here. Good afternoon to Sarah Milne over here, who's doing the Astro Forecast with me. And we are live in all the spaces. I don't see that anybody's joined us yet, but we are here to do our Astro Forecast for the week of July 5th. So starting, Monday into the week, this is what's happening in the sky and what's going on. We're going to try to keep this one short and sweet. And so off and away we go. Sarah, what's going on this week?
Yeah, so we have quite a lot of. Am I there? All right. We have quite a lot of kind of like continuous thing. I've got a lot of feedback. Can you hear feedback?
I hear you okay.
Okay, I hear a lot of feedback. We have a lot of things carrying over from last week as well, so that's going to help us to be short and sweet. We're going to be short and sweet today. So we still have this Mars square Uranus that we talked about last week. That's still with us till Thursday, when we talked about how we might get this strong urge to break free from restriction and to rebel against authority and to break from any restrictions that we're feeling in our life. And that's good. I mean, it's sort of rebellious, and it's like, you might kind of be at work or, and want to just kick back a bit. But, but we all get restricted. And when we've been talking a lot about shadow work and things like that in the last few weeks. And we've been talking a lot about holistic witchery and the wonderful things that we do there. And I think that these are the sort of things that we do restrict ourselves. And I think that we can use this Mars square Uranus energy to like push past the restrictions that we put on ourselves, and the restrictions we put on ourselves that don't enable us to live our best life and that kind of thing. So I think that could be a really good focus this week, and putting that energy where you have got a block somewhere in your life, putting that energy into being inventive and creative and having a creative approach to, like, maybe you've tried lots of things before, but what's a new way? What sort of, how can you be creative about getting through that block? It's that kind of, especially because this is all in Leo, and Leo loves to have fun, loves to be creative, and sometimes we spend so long trying to work through things when really just having a bit of fun and being creative about it can get through those blocks. And then we also then have Venus, because of course Mars and Venus are conjunct for the rest of this week. We still have this Mars conjunct Venus energy. So Venus, of course, then joins in this square because it's conjunct with Mars. So Venus joins that square with Uranus on Tuesday. And so this might kind of like challenge the stability in our love relationships. It might kind of like make us want to rebel a little bit there as well. We might get some unexpected urges or some unexpected events in our relationships thanks to Uranus here. We might feel an increased need for freedom and our own self-expression in relationships. And again, that's not, it's that could be a good thing. We need to be ourselves. We need to have our own freedom and our own excitement. I know that as women, so often we feel like we have to do what everybody else wants us to do. And I have two growing up daughters, and I've always said to them that I wouldn't want you to give your whole entire life up for your family and your children. I would want you to be yourself, because that's what I want for you as your mother. So it's that kind of thing. Maybe in some of your long-term contractual types of relationships, that kind of house 7 type relationships, all those house 4 type family relationships, it's important with this square again being in Leo that we are supposed to have our own fun and create ourselves as well and look after ourselves. And I think that kind of self-love is very important with that going on as well. So I think I feel like it's a real week to kind of like get down those things that prevent you from being your best self and having your best fun and being that that creative person that you are in amidst the things that restrict us.
Yeah, maybe seeking some independence, doing some things on your own, without relying on other people, starting a project on your own, taking some time for yourself, and searching for some independence.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's really good for us.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah, it really is. So we have this Mars conjunct Venus. We've talked quite a lot about this over the week. So we still have this kind of like creative energy, this kind of confident energy that is kind of like there in our love, in our self-love, in our creativity, in our art, all those kind of things. So that's really cool. And then Venus is opposite Saturn still. We still have the Venus opposition Saturn we talked about last week. So, and that kind of fits in with what we were. I mean, you have to always remember that we can only talk in sequence. I can't talk all this at once. If I could talk in all these layers and tell you all this at one time, that would be really good, because this is all happening all the time. It's not just one thing, then one thing, then one thing. So I feel like we have this Venus opposition Saturn where we can kind of feel those restrictions that we have in love and in our creativity, and it can make us feel kind of rigid and feel like we've got too many responsibilities and we're too responsible for other people, and we might have pressure from other people. But then that kind of feeds into that Venus square Uranus. Where can you find those moments for yourself, for your own self-creation, for your own independence, to do something that is just for you? How can you carve out that time every day, if possible, even if it's just half an hour, to do something that is just for you?
Yes.
So
I like it. I'm feeling super rigid in all things because I am, in fact, moving, and I'm feeling the pressure to have everything be perfect before we move, which is not going to happen. And for it all to be perfect and like beautiful and glorious, but I'm also being like really rigid and having a hard time doing anything because of my kids and working, and it's just, yes, I'm feeling very rigid.
Difficult. It's so difficult. I still have not, if you'll be following the Sarah and Anna and Sarah Move Saga, I have still not completed. I still am I'm emailing my estate agents about 3 times a day now, going, just give me some kind of update, just give me something, even if it's just we haven't heard anything, just give me something, please.
Yes.
So I'm not so subject. I'm just fingers crossed and just hoping with it. Hope that we close out next week and it doesn't. Because in the UK, until you close, the whole thing can still collapse. Even though we've been in this chain for 9 months now. So I'm just please. It really is. It's a stupid system. It's a stupid system. So
I was not in it for 9 months, and I am not in the UK, but I think it's also stupid.
It's really
stupid here too.
It's really stupid. So maybe that kind of like that creative way through something. Maybe we can find a creative way through this, whatever block is in that chain. And maybe the Mercury square Neptune that we still have going through this week as well. When we said how like normally that would like make us a little bit foggy, because Neptune brings that fogginess to Mercury's like mind and communication, but because Neptune is in retrograde, during Neptune retrogrades, it's less foggy, because kind of it's almost like in a lot of planet retrogrades we say that things get a bit foggy and a little bit like difficult during their retrograde, but in Neptune retrograde it kind of releases that fog, but we still have all that imagination and spirituality. So maybe like we're all going to get a moment of clarity in our situation this week. But it can give, I really feel like Mercury square Neptune in retrograde gives us that kind of like ability to use our imagination and use our spiritual awareness, but with clarity rather than that kind of daydream fogginess, which is really exciting. And that's kind of still with us from last week. So I think the big things that are new this week is Cancer energy, and it's a big week for Cancer energy this week, because we have the Sun in Cancer, we have our new moon in Cancer on Friday, which means we will have the Sun and Moon together in Cancer, and then on Sunday Mercury goes into Cancer as well. So there's lots of Cancer energy, lots of this kind of like nurturing energy. We were talking about Cancer energy in our Exhibition Astrology Facebook page this morning, and yesterday talking about how Cancer gives us that kind of nostalgic feeling. That kind of, so it's not good for your packing, Anna, because with Cancer energy you'll be like, no, I'm keeping that, I'm keeping everything, I'm keeping it all, because it makes us want to hold on. But I've been repacking my stuff, and so I can store it better. And I literally had like a whole huge box of baby clothes. My eldest daughter is 25, my youngest is coming up to 17. It's like, do I really need all? I know I want to keep some of it, but do I need all of it? But Cancer energy is like, yeah, I need every single one of them, because I remember every day that they wore those clothes and those toys that are just like, you know, my grandchildren, when I finally get them, probably aren't going to want to play anyway, but you know, once again they will. That's Cancer energy. It's care, it's nurturing, but it is also holding on to these memories and all these treasures and all our traditions as well. So we have a lot of that. Mercury in Cancer is going to make us like want to express our kind of like emotions, want to be like to feel things rather than just be told things. We're going to want to feel things. We're going to want people to feel things when we communicate with them.
Yeah.
We might want to sort of like talk about traditions. It's a week to like think about traditions. We might like remember some of our like traditions and some of the old ways that we want to hold on to. So we've got all that going on. So our sun's in Cancer, so that's kind of like our spotlight in our life right now is in that energy. The moon's going to make us kind of feel very intuitively Cancer. We're emotional, very nurturing, but it's really important, again, like we were just saying earlier on, it's about nurturing ourselves. This is a good week for some self-love, some self-care, and to be intuitive about your own life and where your own life is going, and looking back obviously on where you've been, but where you want to go as well, and like nurturing other people, but make sure that you nurture yourself. And it's such an intuitive week this week.
Yeah, that is really important, because that's kind of like the shadowy kind of portion of Cancer, is that we forget to take care of ourselves, and it is so full of empathy and intuition and emotions that it can easily get overwhelmed by all of everybody else's things, because they can't separate it from their own. So we talked about earlier in this how important it is to have your independence this week, and especially in this time where you might be taking on a lot of other people's emotions, and to be able to like stop, take a deep breath, and even shut a door to the bathroom for like 2 minutes to just like breathe and let go of other people's things, because it's already going to be enough to deal with your own things during this week.
Absolutely. I think that, and I think this kind of like fits in what we're closing. This is the last day to, I'm sure you're going to talk about this, Ella, but this is the last day to register for Holistic Witchery, and I feel like Holistic Witchery gives you so much of what's going on this week, those tools to take that little bit of time with yourself. It's a good week to start doing something creative and different and new for yourself, and with Mercury in Cancer, to learn about old traditions and to learn about ways that you can nurture yourself and look out for yourself, and to do it, it's that energy of looking after yourself so you can look after other people better. Because we can't look after, and when my son was going through big things and transplants, and the doctor's always saying to me, you need to look after yourself better, because you can't look after him because you're not looking after yourself. And it's that kind of a week, I think.
Totally. And like Sarah said, today is the last day to join us in Holistic Witchery. And with all this Cancer goodness happening, one of our bonus classes this round in Holistic Witchery is a new course in the Holistic Witchery program, a new bonus section called Mediumship Magic by our friend Tracy Bray. And it's all about mediumship. She is like a certified medium. She's amazing. And we have this whole new bonus material in the Holistic Witchery program. And with all of this kind of intuitive, watery stuff, it might be a really good time to like crack that open if you join us in Holistic Witchery. Like we said, it's the last day to join us today. And there's something in it for everybody. And if you need a moment of time or space, it's a really great way to invest in yourself and to find a lot of self-care woven through it, or practices that you can add to your daily life that helps you feel more independent and more magical in your everyday life. So I hit y'all up in the chat area with the link to Holistic Witchery. So check it out if you have any questions at all about it. It's the last day to register, but you can email us at magic@thesistersenchanted.com if you have any questions, and we are available to help you out.
Absolutely. And I think that Leo energy we're talking as well, that creativity, that fun, and like fun for, I mean, I've had so much fun with other people from what I learned in Holistic Witchery, like, and with my children with what I've learned in Holistic Witchery. It's just like, it's self-care, but it's so much fun for everybody involved in your life.
So much fun. So much goodness. Well, we were keeping this Astro Forecast short and sweet today. And that was short and sweet, and a lot of things happening. A lot of things happening. And looking forward to seeing how this Cancer season treats everybody, because like I said in the past ones, Gemini time, lunar cycles was a doozy. So hopefully with Cancer, we're maybe feeling a little bit more of a flow, a little less of a mental fatigue like Gemini kind of did to everybody.
Absolutely. Oh gosh,
Yes. So thank you so much, Sarah, for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
All right.
Have a good
Bye,
day.
everybody.
Bye.